Hello everyone, thank you for joining us today. We're going to be talking about freight cars. I have Meredith McKinney with me from the Shipping Specialist Department. She's going to be talking to us about that. But before we do that, I do want to go over some updates that we have for y'all. We have our electric gate fully working and operating. So if you're coming to the yard and you don't have a username and password already to access the yard, please make sure that you give us a call. Let us know that you're coming so that we can go ahead and make sure that we send you that username and password. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to get into the yard. If it's during after hours, it's going to be hard for us to create that username and password for you. So make sure that you call in during business hours and let us know that you're going to be coming so that we can get you set up before we leave for the day. As far as the people that already has that username and password, you should be able to access that from the Summit Control app. So if you already downloaded the app and log in, you can open and close the gate from there. DOT road check is coming. It's coming on May 16th to the 18th. So please make sure that you're ready and prepared for that. The focus on this year is going to be ABS and load securement. So please make sure that you're ready for that. Again, those dates are going to be May 16th through the 18th. We also have parking spaces available. So if you know anybody who's in the area that's interested in parking over here at our yard, we have plenty of spaces, so you can let them know that our parking fees are $195 per month, but we currently have a special to where we're dropping that to $150 for the first 3 months. After that, it will be $195. For those of you who are already in the fleet and are parking in our yard, the parking is $150. I know that it used to be different at the other yard where we were last year, in Cedar Hill, but now that we have our new yard, we are offering that special discount for all of our BTOs. So if you need to park in the yard, or if you park more than a week, then you will be charged for the parking, and again, that's $150 per month. Just a reminder, all BTOs who are attending the meeting tonight get 3 positive points added to your BTO report card. Those are really important to have. If you do not know what that is, please make sure you contact the admin department. They will explain to you what that entails of and what you need to know about that. It's really important to have positive points. Those will help you in the event that you get a roadside and you get some negative points added to your BTO report card, not just your PSP, I'm sorry, but also your BTO report card with PDP. Our MBO award winners will be announced at the first place gets $1,000, the second place gets $750, and then the third place will get $250. So every monthly meeting, we are giving out $2,000 in total, like I said, and you need to stay until the end of the meeting if you want to find out if you're on that top 3. If you have any questions for us, we're asking that you go ahead and send them through the chat. We're actually going to be going over the questions at the end of the meeting. So if you have anything that you want us to respond to you, please make sure that you send it there so that we can go over that at the end. I know that I mentioned earlier that Meredith was going to be talking to us about freight cars. She's got some exciting news, and I'm going to go ahead and let her start with that while I continue to take the names for the roll call here in about 10-15 minutes.
Okay. So, hey guys, I know that freight guards have been a big topic, especially when you guys are booking your loads with brokers. Sometimes they say, oh, we can't use you because you have freight guards. Well, we were able to get 3 out of the 4 removed, so we only have 1 left. Still working on getting that one removed, but still us getting 3 removed, like that's a huge deal. So the 3 companies that were able to, that I spoke with that were able to remove the freight guards are Queen Logistics, Schramm Brokers LLC, and B2B Transportation Services. I know a couple of you guys probably recognize these companies because we have worked with them since they have posted these freight guards. We were just finally able to get a hold of the right people and just stayed persistent, and yeah, they finally were removed, and we are still working on getting this last one, but Yes, so that was a huge thing for us to get finally those few freight guards removed. So how do we prevent freight guards moving forward? So out of these 4 freight guards were due to load cancellations. So by avoiding freight guards is by avoiding load cancellations. I know, but we know life happens. But if you could just try to, exhaust all avenues before canceling, that would be greatly appreciated. So, and if you do have to cancel, just reach out to us and let us know. Also, a good way to avoid freight guards is try to avoid speaking to brokers and customers out of frustration. And if there is a situation going on, please don't hesitate to reach out to the office for assistance, because that is what we are here for. Also, if you could try to keep the broker and us in the loop at all times regarding any issues or changes during a load. And we highly recommend keeping things in writing. That has tend to have been a huge lifesaver for loads. So like if it's something that isn't listed on your rate con and they say, oh, okay, that's fine later on, I need that in writing. And if for some reason like you aren't able to send an email or anything like that, just reach out to us and we can do all that for you. We can help you guys out with that. And also there's finally using appropriate apps if there are tracking or update requirements for a load. Try to make sure to follow all the instructions that are on that rate confirmation, because we have seen we've seen a couple deductions due to just some things that weren't followed on the rate confirmation. So make sure you are reading them thoroughly, and also when we do send you a rate con saying, is this good to sign, please make sure to read it before you tell me yes, because if you tell me yes, then we will sign it. So yes, make sure you are reading everything and make sure you do agree to all of that before you tell me yes. There are a couple things that I wanted to touch on just because we do have quite a few new guys here, so a lot of you should already know these, but I just feel like we have had questions and some things here recently that I just feel like these need to be touched on. So if a customer, like a shipper or receiver, if they ask to see a rate confirmation, do not show this to them. This is a confidential agreement between you and the broker. The rate especially should not be disclosed to the customer. This also can result in a claim or a freight guard. Also, if you have any overages or shortages, please do not book another load, especially, or get loaded under another load until that whole issue has been resolved. And if something like that happens, please reach out to us, and because we have your back and we will help you until that situation is resolved. So also, if with the overages, if you do have product left on your trailer, please don't go get loaded, because that can cause a huge issue, because you don't know if you have to take that product back to the shipper, back to the receiver, or it's just best to get that situation figured out before you get loaded with other product on a different load. Also, do not turn in your paperwork until you are completely empty. If you have product still on your trailer, you are not empty, you are not completed with that load. Also, I believe Miss Mary, she did send an email out to you guys here recently about credit checking. So we've noticed a lot here recently, like me and Miss Cynthia, we get carrier packets all the time. And we can see who credit checks and who doesn't. Like, it shows the history of who credit checks and how long ago it was. So I know some of y'all will go on there and see, oh, it was approved, like 2 weeks ago, a month ago, or even last year. And you're like, oh, okay, they're good. Well, that is not always the case. It is very, very important to hit the submit credit check button, because they could be approved last week and declined this week. I believe it was Meadowlark here recently that a lot of you guys have worked with before, and they all of a sudden are declined. So even companies that you are very familiar with, that, you work with all the time, things happen. So it is just always best to just double check and credit check, because if they aren't approved, if for some reason they aren't declined, and if they haven't been paying out loads recently, then you may very well not get paid on that load. So I know you guys don't want to work for free, so I highly recommend making sure that those companies are approved on Apex before you book with them, and before even calling on the load too. I highly recommend doing that.
Okay, thank you, Meredith. I do want to add, in regards to those freight guards, I know that some of you guys were having issues even booking loads. Unfortunately, Carrier 411, where these freight guards or these reports are posted, it's commonly used among brokers. So all of them use it. They go in there, they check to see if that company that is calling for the load, it's got any freight cars in there. They unfortunately don't take the time to read into our responses. They just see, okay, they have this many freight cars. Okay, we can book with you. We can give you that load. Or you have in here that you have canceled before. Okay, well, never mind, that load is already taken. That's usually what they tell you. Or they just straight up tell you, we cannot work with PDP because of that. So it is important that we do everything that we can to prevent those. And I do want to say that Meredith did a tremendous job getting those removed. She was persistent on it. It took some time, and she took every step that she had to take in order to get those removed. But it was hard. It's not easy to get them removed. So I do want to ask that everyone in here understand how this affects everyone in the fleet, and how important it is to try and prevent those from happening. Obviously, we are going to do everything that we can on our end to respond back to them. But if that broker is just upset, because we came off the load last minute, or if that broker is upset because we showed a reconfirmation showing, how much that load is actually being moved for, then, chances are that they're just not going to take it off, because of whatever situation happens. So in the case that it does happen, we do get notified, and we do try and respond as soon as we can, but it is up to the actual broker to leave that in there or not. So please make sure that you always contact our office if anything is happening, if there is any situations that you think maybe can become an issue and can end up, losing that relationship with the broker. Be mindful that everyone in the fleet needs that, opportunity to book loads as well, just as much as you do. So be mindful of that. I also asked if you all have any questions to please let us know in the chat. We're going to be going over those here in a couple of minutes. Okay, I know Aunt Battle commented, and even on DAT, they'll say no freight cars in the comments. So yes, actually truck stop too. We just found out recently that brokers have a way to report carriers, through truck stop. So it's not just carrier 411. They have different ways, to make it known that we did something. Whether we fall off on a load, or we had maybe an issue with the load. They have ways of making that public. So please make sure that you let us know again, if any situation arises that you think might become or might end up in a report.
Will Meadowlark be back? We can continue to credit check them. You can always continue to double check as if, will they be back? I don't know. That is up to them and their credit department and their credit history, as if they want to pay their loads out. So is truck stop better than DAT? From my experience, I've noticed that truck stop has more flatbed and step deck loads. They do have van and reefer, but majority of their freight is flatbed and step deck. And also, if you did want to add truck stop, it is $86 a month. If you did want to have that subscription added.
Alrighty, so I think we are ready for the wheel of names. Alrighty, so we're ready to spin. Name? We're good? Alright, let me shuffle the names a couple of times before we actually pull them. Let's see who wins tonight. Alrighty, so here's for the first winner. For the first winner, I'm sorry. Richard Laredale.
Richard Laredale,
Congratulations. Okay, Richard, are you here? You can let us know in the chat if you are.
I'm here.
Alrighty,
Cool.
congratulations. Okay, so now for the second winner, and let me shuffle the names again. All right. Joshua Baker, congratulations.
One of our new guys.
Yay. Okay, so each one of you gets $300. Joshua, are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
Joshua?
I'm here.
Alrighty, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so those $300 will be added to your dashboard tomorrow. Billy will be taking care of that in the morning. So if you guys don't have any other questions, we're gonna go ahead and announce the MVOs for the month. Okay, this always gets exciting.
And Daryl, about your truck stop comment, there's different versions of truck stop, so we might have a different version than you, so that's probably why there is a price difference. Just like that, there are different versions.
Okay, so the first place goes to Mario Sims. Congratulations, Mario. That's $1,000 that you get. Okay, so Jake Hughes, it's second place. Congratulations, Jake. You get $750. And then on the third place, we have Omar Reed. Congratulations, Omar. And the third place gets $250. And Michael Harris, you were really close. Same with Michael Christ. Alrighty, guys, so the next meeting, May 15, that's always a Monday at 6 p.m. All right, so yeah, May 15 at 6 p.m. That's when our next meeting is going to be. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate you taking the time to be here with us. As always, thank you all, and God bless.